Welcome back to Five Questions. It's your girl AJ, the Suburban Princess, with another victim of my Five Questions pod. I've been dying to talk to her since she volunteered her services so eloquently for the first Link Up episode. So now we get to know her all by herself. Please welcome the beautiful, brown-skinned, lovely Shay.
Hey. Whoop, 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 whoop. Sorry, no, I'm sorry.
Look. She rocking the frames, thank God, because sometimes she be looking extra cute without her frames. But I said, good. Please join the 4 Eye Club tonight.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I've been part of the 4 Eye Club since middle school, 7th grade.
Same. I think actually I was 4th grade, I think, when I became blind. My daddy's lovely genes. But anyway, all right. So as you know how it goes, 5 questions. Sometimes they're not 5, sometimes they're not 4. I just usually just pop stuff out, and then as we talk, I usually think of stuff. So just forgive me if I get a little wordy. And then usually there's a bonus one, just because if I don't like my questions, which now I'm looking at some of my questions, I'm like, why did I ask that? But anyway, I usually have a bonus. So, all right. So we're not going to start in any particular order, Shay.
Okay.
But since we are now towards the end of 2021, this question is always basically where I want to start anyway, because we're all very, very nostalgic mood right now.
Right.
What was your 2021 like compared to 2020? And what do you look forward to in 2022?
I think I talked about this when we did the link.
Okay.
But 2020, I mean, it wasn't like I was going through some hard times, but it was 2021 is definitely better than 2020. And I say that because in 2020, I think that was like the height of the pandemic, right?
Yep.
Right. So thankfully I still had a job, I still had a roof above my head. So I'm, grateful about that. But as far as like relationships, personally, that's when my ex randomly just broke up with me through social media. Like,
okay, I remember the story. Yep.
Right. So it was like, and I finally like I felt like that relationship was it. Like we were together for a long time, like, being we even talked about moving in together. But so him to just do that, and like I mean, I'm definitely I'm over it.
Yeah.
And I had to get to a place where I just had to let it go. So that was very hard. And I feel like from somebody I would say I'm vulnerable in most cases. Like that definitely closed me back up. So I went through that. That was like I don't want to say spirit. Internally, that was very hard to deal with, but
yeah.
I could say I got through it. This year has been very good for me in terms of I've been doing a lot of self-reflecting lately. I've cut people off. That didn't mean that doesn't mean any good. And I've just been like, I started back writing, as far as like just writing my thoughts and just getting how I feel out and just like loving myself more. So 2021 has been great. And then I just started a new job on Tuesday.
Nice.
And like today was the 3rd day, and like so far I've been like, yo, I really like this job. And I know it's still early, but like I really have a good feeling. Like I feel like I'm going to be at the job for a long time. Nice. So like I feel like I'm going to be ending 2021 on a good note, since we're in November.
Yeah.
So yeah, no. So as far as what I'm looking forward to 2022, just more blessings, just me just prospering. I'm claiming that I'll be in my house sometime next year. And just I'm looking for just an even more better year in year 2022.
That's good, because I know a lot of us probably in that we're independent in between stages. I know for me, I thought I was going to be moving into a new apartment and that fell through. So I kind of I didn't realize. That's why I was glad I was talking to you before, because that therapy I needed to kind of get over the fact that some stuff just doesn't work out. Doesn't mean it's never going to happen.
Right, exactly.
So I didn't realize it, but I was going through like a mini depression myself briefly. So thank God I went to Puerto Rico with some friends, because I needed that.
I know, that's right.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. So, all right. So moving on. Do you practice meditation, prayer, spiritual rituals, or anything to get through rough times?
Yeah. Prayer, I can say this year I've tried to pray every day on a normal basis, but I feel like with me cutting people off and like really doing some more self-reflecting, I make like prayer as far, and then even like meditation, like I go on long walks, and just kind of clear my head. And even if I'm not going through like the tough times, I try to make sure I pray, especially like every morning before, and I get in my car before I put the gear and drive. I say a prayer, keep, traveling mercies as I go to work, keep my family safe, blah, blah, blah. But definitely, I believe prayer, prayer changes things, as well as
absolutely.
I try to be grateful always and count my blessings. Like I always say, as I don't want to get I always want to stay humble, because I feel like as quickly as God has given me so many blessings, he can take it away just like that. So like I try to remain humble and like everything I do, and just like even with this job and like the pay, like I'm just humble. So no, prayer, I definitely my prayer life has been very beneficial, I would say this year, and in the past like 4 months.
Yeah, I think it definitely is post, even though we're technically still in a panorama.
Right.
If you haven't gone internal on some level, you must have nerves of steel, because to me, this is, I mean, I've interviewed someone before, actually, I hope to talk to her again, because she made a good an analogy how it's a reset, for all of us, because we all kind of need to really look inside and realize like you ain't shit, because you ain't got no control over this,
Exactly.
So the bitch assness is coming out in people because they can't control stuff. And I know I have my little tendencies too, but Lord knows I have made myself be a lot more grateful this year. I still complain, because that's just human.
Me too, but I can say like I have what I call my moments. I'd be like, yo, okay, it could be so much worse. I have moments where I feel like I gotta get it out, gotta let it all out, or just complain in a sense, but then I come back and be like, yo, it's not that serious. Or no. I was like, yo,
sometimes it feels good to be an asshole just for like one day.
Exactly.
And then be like, all right, I'm back.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, as long as you know that's not who you are, to be that asshole.
Oh yeah, no, I have I definitely have a come to Jesus moment, be like, yeah, okay, let me chill out. That yeah.
Be like swinging at the air.
Right.
Dang it.
Woo! Especially in especially in like traffic, and people be doing dumb stuff, and I be like beeping the horn, I give somebody the finger. I've calmed down lately, but after doing that, I'd be like, yo, Lord, forgive me. That lady or that man did not deserve that. But in that moment, it felt good. It felt good.
Yes.
But
I don't have a car, but I remember those days just being in traffic, going to and fro, especially from the link. And even when I worked part-time at King of Prussia Mall at FYE, there was some times where I'd be like, why did I take 76 going home? What the freak was I thinking? I don't know how many people would tell me like, I don't know why you even bother. I'm like, it's either that or take the scenic route, and
right.
if I go on the scenic route, I pass by my aunt, and then I feel bad if I don't say hi.
Right,
the whole
exactly.
thing.
Right.
So I just don't want to go through the whole torture. But yeah, no, road rage is a thing, and you see people still getting killed by road rage.
Yeah,
so.
I watched. I tweeted it a couple of days ago. I finally finished the movie Unhinged in its entirety.
Oh, that's
with
what that's
Russell
about.
Crowe.
Okay.
And I was like, that was if that wasn't like a reality check, I was like, yeah. Let me, you know what? I'm gonna just pray. I'm just gonna have to really pray to keep from going off on these people, because Russell Crowe,
yeah, he seemed like he'd be intense. Yeah.
Listen, that movie alone, I was like, okay, I needed to watch this movie, because I don't ever.
Now you make me want to see it. Now I'm not even like movie watching like that.
Was on another level. I was like, I don't want no problem. That's how I was. I was like, nah, I'm good.
I ain't about that life right now.
Exactly. Like, he got it. I was like, yeah, he got that.
You got that.
No,
yeah, I hear that. I heard a road rage ain't nothing to play with, but y'all gotta realize at the end of the day, you got money got to be made. You got to continue your life. Just keep moving.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, it's never that serious. But okay, so something that is serious for someone like me, because I know I'm going through this phase where it's like, do I want to consider dating again? Do I not? I kind of like being like this delusioned female, but I know that's not realistic for too long, because it's just not healthy. Right. But do you feel that dating is harder now, or the same? Why or why not?
I feel like it's a lot harder now, especially. I mean, I feel like I've been independently. I can take care of myself. I'm stable. Right. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, of course. I mean, I don't want to be single like forever.
Right. Right.
And it's like, nowadays you want to find somebody that's compatible. Did I say that back?
Compatible. Yeah, you're right.
Compatible with you. And it's like sometimes starting all over. Like when you've been there. Like, here we go again. We guys like, so what do you do for a living? You got kids. Yeah. Well, what do you see yourself in
5 years?
Such and such years. Yeah. It's just like, who?
It's like a 90-day application.
Right. Like, and then you got to find out what the person's intentions are. Like, are we going to be buddies?
Right.
You looking for like lifetime, a long-term relationship.
Right. And then that almost sounds like a bad word now, long-term. I'm not trying to put you in jail, but I'm like,
right, but we gonna grow old together. We gonna like, what do you want in it? I'm 32, and I'm like, and I'm still young, but like, it's just like,
it's a weird period though.
It is, and it's like, who wants, again, it's like starting over. Sometimes I don't
it's for the birds.
It for real. Especially getting to know people, you got to go through, and then like if y'all get to that certain level as far as like intimacy, like how are you, what you like, what you don't like, what are you willing to try, what you don't like.
It's a whole conversation. I almost feel like you want to give somebody a mixtape and just call it a rap.
For real.
Like, here, those are my emotions. Damn it.
Right. I definitely would say it's harder today, because it's just, what you want. Yeah. And in a sense, I mean, you're not going to get, you're not going to get, I would say you're not going to get everything that you want in a guy, but you weigh your pros and cons.
Right.
But it's like the talking stage. It's
a long ass stage.
Bruh, man, I just be like, yo.
Because I thought it was just me. I'm like, maybe it's not an ADD thing. Maybe it's just in general with dating. It's like you almost feel like you just want to get to the meat of it and just stop the introductory crap.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I
Yeah.
think I was talking to before when I did a podcast with Ryan, who has a podcast, a Philly Cast podcast, and he was talking about how, like, there's this whole thing with women, like, okay, so are they going to be cool with you when they see you in the app in person, or are they going to shade you and just be like, ew, who's this guy? And I'll be like, well, it depends.
Right.
I mean, if we had a good rapport on the app and I just happened to see you or whatever, I wouldn't shade you. But you know, the girls who are playing games who do that crap. That's not what you want, you know? I mean, how many times have you talked in the app and I told him, I said, you go on an app and they go right to one in your number. I'd be like, yo, pause. Like, I just literally said hi. Like, I was like, what's your number? Put your number.
Exactly.
You know, there's a
Can
certain
I get your
way
number?
to do
Like,
it.
pump your brakes.
Right. There's so much eagerness in it. And that's why a part of me goes, well, this is how it's going to be. I'm good. I know people get married off of them. God bless y'all who have the patience, but I'm either all or nothing. We either going to talk like mature people and eventually it goes to the phone. And then eventually you set up a date. Like, I'm old school courting, I guess, but
me too.
I mean, I was hot in my pants for like a couple times in my late 20s and then that ended. It was fun. But it ended because
it gets old.
It gets old because one, you also don't want to be just that girl.
Do you know what I mean? Exactly.
Like we have you see me tripping on Twitter all the time, always stalking these athletes. I understand. I ain't got no shot in hell, but I'm gonna just shoot my shot for entertainment.
Right, exactly.
Because they're not dumb. Most of these dudes ain't really single 100%, but they like the attention, but they can't entertain it because they don't want to have to be accountable for it. So if you know that that's the game, then that doesn't really count as dating. That's just Twitter. You know, that's just talking crap on Twitter.
Exactly.
You know? But I'm glad you said that because I was waiting for you to be like, well, it's not that hard. But now I realize you've been out of a serious relationship. It does get harder because you got to have, it's a trust factor. It's a timing factor. Maturity is the main thing, you know?
Right. So, and it's kind of like, I feel like I'm open. I want somebody to be vulnerable.
Yes.
And a lot of guys, you won't get that. No. So it's kind of like, I don't want to be just so vulnerable where I'm putting that out there, but I'm not receiving anything back. So, so I'm like,
absolutely. And I said, don't be clowning these men out here that tell their feelings. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. We need to normalize that. Please normalize men that, I mean, I understand they don't have to be Aubrey Drake, you know, but you ain't gotta be walking around all rude like 50 Cent either. Like there's nice, happy Maxwell, Raheem Devon medium, maybe we can find. There's brothers out there. I don't know if they single. They out there.
They out there.
They out there, but all right, so
really single.
I know they're not single. That's the problem. You gotta understand what single means these days. All right, so jumping on to the next one. Is there someone you grew up or grew to like or respect more in your circle, or even maybe outside your social circle, say your tweeps, Twitter people that you're like, I looked at them kind of different and been like, that's a cool person? Or is there, if it doesn't apply, it doesn't apply, but some people have people they look at different this year and they're like, I didn't realize that person was kind of solid. That's cool.
I didn't even think about Twitter. My Twitter peeps. I was
thinking outside the circle, like real people.
Right. So I'll say outside of the circle, and I'll say I have a guy friend who I'm really close with. And lately we've gotten like closer.
Okay.
But I could say he's like the first guy that like told me about myself, but it was coming from a
place of love,
like a love.
Yeah.
But I needed that tough love, and like, cause I felt like, dang, like just hearing him say that, I'm like, dang, I felt like my past relationships, none of my exes like
did that.
Like it was attractive, in a sense.
Right.
But I say I grew to really have like really the utmost respect for him, because like he told me like he really just like got in my ass, but it was coming from a place for love, and it really helped me get into this whole me being so doing this self-reflecting more, really kind of like, yo,
yeah,
okay, that's what he was talking about, like, oh wow. So I would say him.
Okay. I
Cause
know you don't. I'm not gonna ask who. I don't need. Put that out there. You don't need to put it out there.
He on Twitter. So his initial J. We're gonna say J for short.
Okay.
That's cool. Yeah, but he's not. Yeah, he ain't on no social media.
That's okay. That's probably a good thing though.
Right.
It's weird because I've had only maybe one or two male friends growing, even in my old jobs through life, that have really been the ones, like you said, that have dug in me and knew me, and I knew me at the time, which at first made me really mad because I was just like, you gonna read me?
Like it hurts your feelings.
Yes, it did. It did. I was actually mad at him for a long time, but I got over it because he was right, because you have to eat crow, and but it's true. I mean, I'd rather have someone do that and still stay in contact now because you know we're right than be all petty and not talk to them anymore.
Exactly.
Because you can't handle the truth. But I love that, especially when it does come from opposite sex, because if anything, they could tell you a little more than someone of the same sex.
Exactly right.
Which leads me back to the other question I want to ask. And I only asked this question because I noticed this is more in the realm of Black women. And I found that I've had this issue myself as I've grown up in society with Black women. What, in your opinion, why do women not trust each other, whether it be friends, family, or coworker? Discuss a moment where you battled with trusting women. I know, look, there's probably tons of stories, but the reason why this was passionate to me is because us as Black women, we do need to support each other, but we do have a trust issue, and I don't know why.
Right. So my thing, so I can, I have an example, and I'm trying to make this story.
Go ahead.
I have she's not because I don't work there anymore. She's no longer my coworker. Okay. But my last job, first couple of weeks, getting used to, my bill, working. I had I wouldn't say she's a because she wasn't on my team, but she worked in the office. Okay. But anywho, I noticed I'm a observer. Right. Like I sit back and watch.
Shay's not the talker. She's the I just watch.
Right. She is she likes attention. Okay. And she throws herself at all the guys in our workplace. Okay. And like she does, and I was talking to another coworker of mine that kind of knows, like, works with her on her team or whatever, and kind of knows more about what she does or whatever. And she, like, when I came, this is what I've heard and kind of what I've observed. But like when I came on the scene, right, and we're young. It's not a lot of Black women, especially in the IT. Okay. Yeah. Government IT.
Enough said.
Right. So, but the few brothers that are there, she's the So it's because me coming in the brand new Black young girl, look good. It's like she felt threatened. Like if I was going to be trying to talk to, I don't know, one of her mini dudes.
Dick or Harry.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, first of all, this the environment that we work in. I come to work, do what I have to do, and leave. And like I barely socialize. Like I ain't worried about. Why are you worried about? And then we both. And another thing is, why you feel threatened about me? Like we both the same age, and we need to be uplifting each other. Right. I've come across it and other workplaces, and it's just like, and it's not like that with my white female coworkers. It's always, and I'm like, we got it hard. We got it decent, and I just don't. I never understood that. But like I can say my that could be the reason why. Like I have like one girl best friend, and the rest are men. Yeah, because I don't want to be dealing with it's female hard. It's female nowadays. It's not nowadays, but it's hard to really be friends with a lot of women because there's jealousy. They feel like they better than you, or they want to one up you, whatever the case may be. It's like, yo, we both trying to win. Let's both get this money. Let's both uplift each other. Like, girl, bye.
It's energy draining, and it's always.
It is.
It made me sad. One, because I was just clueless about it when I was in the workforce, when I was first working, because I started working at the first job like in 2000. And so I was oblivious to half of that crap, because sometimes it wasn't obvious. Sometimes it wasn't like about a guy at all. It could just be they don't like the way I talk, or they don't like the fact that I'm always seem happy. Right. Now, mind you, my dad was always, before my parents divorced, my dad would always big me up and be like, oh, they just jealous of you and all this stuff. And in my head, I'd be like, but I don't think that's it, Dad. Because in my head, I'd be like, they could just be unhappy. I know that much. But the fact that I felt like you could always just tell when people kind of talk down to you. I had that a lot. And I used to think, and now I'm convinced sometimes I do think people just think I'm so young that I just don't know anything. And and my bestie will do it to me at times too. And I just say that just because she's the oldest one of her family. So I think she just, it's a tendency to treat me like that at times. But I really do think Black women, it is something ingrained in our culture, unfortunately, that says that we are the only ones that can walk in the room. And that means we can't share the spotlight. And it's a shame it happens in like a regular 9-to-5 job that I don't know why you want to be the star. Ain't nobody else here, you know. I do admit that out of boredom in my first job, you know, anything for somebody attractive, obviously, you know, everybody he was attractive, but yeah, it's sad to me that got me really bad one time, and I'll never forget it, because there's nothing worse than when a girl knows that you are intimidated by her and tries to befriend you, but then she secretly she tried it. She kind of almost did like a mind F to me, to the point where it was like, I know you like this dude. Now, mind you, she ain't need him. He was tall, white, whatever. But she took the crush and twisted it so that he liked her, and she rubbed it in my face. Mind you, this is all during work hours. But that's how much downtime we had in that department, because we didn't have a lot of work. And I think that, unfortunately, I put myself in the line of fire because I did the no, which is you tell somebody who you like. You never tell anybody. But my thing is, because you shouldn't be able to feel threatened, because if you say you like something, it doesn't necessarily mean something's going to happen. It just means like, oh, you know, you have a general opinion, then it's over. You never think that the heifer's going to use it as an excuse to make it like
exactly. You know? Oh yeah, no, I don't tell. I mean, if the person and that's another thing. If like, if it's somebody that also that's on the job, and she's the type of person that run her mouth, there is no way, and there's no way, and the person that she was really trying to get with was
feeling you,
but she doesn't know that, like, to this day, because we
y'all knew how to keep it.
Exactly.
Maybe
she'll find out, you know,
look, whatever, later, and at the end of the day,
it don't even matter. We both left the job. Right, exactly. But
you shouldn't do that though. You shouldn't do it. I mean, honestly, like if I'd have read the room better, I probably wouldn't have said jack shit. I mean, I talked a lot, but I talked a lot out of boredom, not because I had the common sense to realize like I had some worth and I shouldn't allow anybody to get in my head space.
Exactly. Right.
You know, that's the bottom line. It was lack of confidence back then, but you know, I was young buck. But
I hope going for now, there've been I can't say that I have a couple of Black former female co-workers that I've I bonded with.
Oh yeah.
And, it's not always, but like, just for the most part, it's, I don't know.
It's all too familiar of a story.
It's more so it's not even the females, close to my age. It's like the older ones that kind of been there. They seasoned, and it's like, you should be above this. you should be passing everything you know down to me, and you should be honored.
Yes.
And then you should be honored to see somebody that looks like you.
Right.
Like
getting better instead of being threatened. Yeah, you're right.
Exactly.
You're right.
I just come to do what I have to do, learn, get money,
and leave,
get paid, and go about my business. Like, I ain't like, please.
It's sad.
But yeah, it is sad. It's hard for women to trust. I feel like that's one of the reasons, because there's jealousy. They feel threatened, and it's like we can't, like you said, we can't just all share the same spotlight.
And I don't understand why, because honestly, the reason why too, and it depends on the job you're at too, because if you're a type person, you have to work with a lot of women because that's your team. That's one thing. But it's another thing if like you get people who are always trying to get to that next level. In my job, I never felt like there was ever levels. Like I never felt like somebody was going to be better than me. I never asked anybody what they got on their raise, which some people did. Right. It's wrong, but whatever.
Yeah, that's
the stupid stuff. I mean, stuff people do, but I, again, not smart enough to be like, I'm not talk about that. But I had a fear of everything and everyone, and I never had any confidence then. So it's like, I look back at it now, I'm like, damn it, man, I should have told a lot of people to get the freak out of my face if I really think about it now. But it makes me think, because a lot of it, to me, that even my sister got in high school, that we've gotten in high school, when you are in mostly a mixed group of people, especially in Abington, I'll say right now, Abington Junior High School, I had an aunt who was an assistant principal. So you already get people looking at you crazy because you related to her. They talk smack about her. And I said, you only talk smack about it because she educated, one, and y'all ain't used to that. And then it could also just be little things that people didn't like about the way she dresses her hair, whatever. But I also had that at my job. My mom worked in my job, but she was in my department. So I also had that going against me from the door, because if there are people who didn't like her, it trickled down to me.
Right.
So I didn't realize until literally they moved us to the city that I realized that was what I was getting, was a lot of that pettiness was coming from the association with family. And that's even worse, especially with Black women, because my mom's in a lead position that she has to discipline other people who might happen to be Black women who don't like her. So it's shit like that. It's like, when you look back at it now, it's like a lot of people can sit there and be nice to me and stuff, but some of them didn't like her, and that's fine.
Right.
My mom's not fake.
Yeah, she does she's fair.
She's fair. She did what she had to do. She was never petty. She was never trying to elevate herself. She was doing her damn job.
Right.
And you should be happy some Black woman is in a lead position before they started chopping people down, but we ain't gonna go there. But my point, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, people should celebrate and not try to
tear down
or compete.
Right. Exactly.
Competing is the worst.
For real.
I mean, you lucky I was, like I said, you were an observer, I was a talker, and the problem was I should have been more of an observer.
Right. Oh no, I observe. Especially when the workplace is like mostly male, like white dominated. You really can't, you know what I'm saying? It's how you are with with us, our Black people. You can't be. And I was not, I joked every once in a while, but I was always at my desk doing work. Like, you ain't see me walking around talking to other people. I'm like, see, and that's another thing. Yeah. I try to we already have I try to not feed into the stereotypes of, Black people. They are not, Black people never want to work, or they always want to talking. You know what I'm saying?
Very true.
But you had other coworkers that
didn't want to work,
right? But again, that's not reflected.
No, but I know you're saying.
But it's like, come on, this is it's.
And I had other older people who would remind me. Remind me every day, like, you represent your mom at your job, so you want to be on time. So, like you said, it wasn't always Black women coming at me either. There were older people who were looking for me too, who knew and did respect her and were like, you gotta look good for your mother. You're a reflection of your mother, and that brought me back to life. But it still took me a long time to finally mindfully realize my behavior reflects on my mother. So you're right, it is hard, and it's not all Black women, but you know what I'm saying? It is a problem, because there's some kind of communication we need to to exude to each other or say to each other, like, I can trust you, you can trust me.
Right,
We can
exactly.
get this bread together and
right,
leave.
exactly. I look out for you, you look out for me. Like
right.
we in this together.
We in this together, and I'm not trying to trip you up. I've had people who supported me too, but I've also had people who just also supported me because they thought it was funny, and I wasn't trying nothing but to be funny and leave,
Right.
And that was it. Like, I knew what I wanted to be, and it wasn't there. So a lot of the foolishness that I engulfed myself in was because of boredom. It wasn't because I liked being the jester. I had no attention span for corporate life until I realized it was gone.
Right.
But what do you feel like now, if you look back at that time, you probably would have said, if you could have said it to that girl, like, would you have told her, like, I need you to just chill out. Like, there's no need for this between you and me. We should just be just trying to get money and go home. Do you ever wish you could have said something, or did you ever say something to her?
No.
Okay.
I mean, we wasn't, I kind of, again, me being an observer, I already just how she acted. And then there was a comment she made that really, now I do wish I probably said something back then. Outage happened. My coworker, we were talking about Waffle House.
Yeah.
And word got back. That's why I'm like, what? See, other black people running their mouths that had nothing to do with them.
Right.
Talking about, because we kept talking about Waffle House. Well, it got back to me. Homegirl was like, to ask the guy who I went to Waffle House with, the coworker I went to Waffle House with, oh, so I heard you taking bitches to Waffle House.
Okay.
Who a bitch?
Okay. We've already gone out of the, never mind.
Sorry. Right.
There's no talking to that little heifer because she just purposely.
Yeah. So that right there. Yeah. I was like, when I see her, hey, how are you? Good. Okay, that's good. But like, keep it cordial. Like, I mean, for the most part, it's always been that. We might have small conversations, but trust and believe, she don't know my personal life. She don't know where I live. She don't right. You don't know who I be. You're right. She don't know who I go out, what I do outside of this. So I was like, yeah. And now if I had the chance, I would definitely have made I would have definitely like checked her. Like, first of all, I don't, when it comes to, like, we ain't cool like that for you to be referring me as a bitch. And
right.
And if we did go to Waffle House together, why is that any of your business?
Thank you.
See, that's why okay. Sorry, I'm about to.
That's what I'm so glad. Wait, I almost channeled Shantae because Shantae get triggered and we sit there start talking. But
I'm having a moment.
I wanted to be real. Yes, that's why I said I want to talk to you because I know you're gonna keep it real.
So I'm glad. I'm so glad I don't have to see her. She must be happy that I'm gone, because now that me and another female left the job, it's just back to being her, and she can be all up on the dudes all she wants to. So she don't gotta be threatened by nobody, because we left, and she ugly anyway. I'm sorry, Lord forgive me. All right, sorry. See, moving on. At the end of the
day, she's gonna be her world's worst enemy. So it ain't nothing to do with you. But all right. So not to end on a sad note, but I did want to know what made you cry last, because I know the last time I cried, it always makes me embarrassed to say it, but I'm probably hormonal, so that's why I don't cry a lot. So when I do,
that's funny you said that. I don't know if it's 30. I feel like watching movies or watching like certain movies or shows with I really just, or it doesn't even have to be sad. It could be great. It could be like a good story, and I just get emotional. I'm like, all right, something ain't right. The last time I cried, it was when I went to the ER for having chest pains, because I really felt it felt like I don't know what a heart attack feels like, but I was like, Lord, I said, Lord, I don't want to die. Like I was really, before I had the energy to actually take myself to the ER, I was walking back and forth in my apartment, like in a sense praying and then panicking, like, yo, Lord, and I was bawling. So that was the last time I cried.
That makes sense though.
Makes sense. Like my blood pressure was high.
I hope you're drinking water and just making sure
I'm drinking water. I'm on blood pressure medicine.
Yeah,
but I have to. I mean, I know blood pressure runs in my family, and it's I gotta. I mean, again, I've been drinking water. I'm back to trying to get miles in. I did 3.6 miles earlier this afternoon.
Nice.
So trying to be healthy, but that's the last time I cried.
Shoot, mine's not even romantic or anything traumatic. I just literally, I think I cried in my sleep, and I don't know why I cried. Traumatized me either during the sleep or maybe in sleep, and so I cried when I woke up.
Right.
And I just said to myself, something's wrong with me. I said, hormones are really. Wait till you get over your 40s, people. There's just no anything. It just comes out, you know. But yeah, you're right. I mean, like, well, and not to scare people about aging, you gotta, it's how you take care of yourself, how you love yourself.
Yeah, no, really.
Age is not
black
bad.
people.
Exactly. And especially this is the reason why I wanted to ask a question about women, because it's like we got to realize we have all other factors going against us in this world today. We don't need to be competing against each other over some penis. But
for real. But probably ain't even all that anyway.
No, that's what I'm saying. And it never is. I mean, you find that most of that stuff, and luckily I've never been a victim of that directly, but I know that a lot of that office drama is peaked from that crap, because that's the majority where you spend your life for the most part, Monday through Friday. And I guess, like you said, some people don't get a lot of attention anywhere else, so they just that's the time to shine.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had people be petty at me at church, people be petty at me. It's just
at church though, and well, you know what?
Yeah, think about it. Don't
I think about it. I was like, church? Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah,
people be playing.
People be tripping, and they be kind of using the name of the Lord just excuse to do it, which let me stop. But yeah, so just to switch before we leave though, I know. Look, we always talk about these birds, these eagles,
these pigeons.
Pigeons, yeah, they are pigeons. I don't care.
Pigeons right now.
I just made a pod about how I'm not happy about that win. That don't mean nothing. This whole year has been an experiment on trying to set up Jalen Hurts to fail. What is your general overall opinion at the Birds, so we can close? It's probably not positive because I don't blame you, but go ahead.
Already know. I mean, we traded Flacco, right?
Yeah, he's back in the Jets.
And what's his name?
Minshew.
Yeah. Right. I mean, I know he came in for because we was up 30 and some whatever last game. Yeah. I don't be honest with you. I'd rather Hurts just. I mean, I hope his game improves. Yeah. But I don't want to. He has more interceptions, or he's, it just not. I want to just see him start the rest of the season. That way we can say, all right, it's enough games or enough time to say, all right, Hurts isn't the guy, or he is, or you know what I'm saying. I think we need to at least give him that. That instead of but we can't fault. And another thing is, okay, he might not be the guy, but that could also resort with the coaches as well.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, everybody can get it.
Like, look at Carson. We know it wasn't Carson. But
he playing tonight trying to get his name back because he done thrown some picks already.
You know what I'm saying? So to be honest, I am not. I know what's his name, Nick Sirianni.
Yeah.
Right. I know he's the first year coach.
But still,
he don't have to come back next year. I'm sorry. I'm
good too.
I said all I can see.
You ain't gotta say much.
He could win. We could go win the next, I don't know how many games. I still be like, nah, he can go. No. But at the end of the day, it's Howie that need to get the
he's the plug.
Right. But I'm still gonna support these pigeons because like my thing is I don't want this 2017 2008 Super Bowl to just be like we go another 40 years for 40 our next years. Like can we at least get to the playoffs and win a couple of games in the playoffs like every year? You know what I'm saying? Like I miss us at least getting that far. Like, oh my God. Yeah. Girl, I don't know.
It's stressful. I hope they not into your high blood pressure.
I'm stressing out. And I said, I'll be like, yo, I ain't gonna let these teams stress me out. Here they are.
I refuse to let them kill me.
And I
know it's hard. It's real hard.
It is. Because it's like,
I take all the jokes. I told you, I love when you joke. I love when everybody on Twitter because they deserve every freaking joke.
Yes.
This season. This is some pathetic stuff.
It's therapy. It's therapy.
Yes. That's what I say it is. Let it out. Let it out. We deserve it.
Right, because I'm like, y'all, it's hilarious.
It's gotta be. I mean, come on. I thought at least they could beat the Cowboys and make me happy just for one daggone game. Like you could at least have done that.
I ain't been the same since that game. I thought that was a bad loss. Yes.
I mean, on Monday Night Football, no less. Not even like a 1:00 game, man. It was
right. I was like, I had my jersey on.
Small.
Yes. I'm like, I'm still traumatized with that game.
I do feel like it died there. Like I really thought.
It really did.
It was no trust, and I'm like, y'all can win. Like you said, if they win the next couple games, I'm still kind of like. But you lost to the Cowboys, and then when you play them again, they don't need that win because they'll be in the playoffs. Exactly. We don't want to take the title again.
Right?
No. Like I want to go all for the black man and Dak. Like I'm happy he finally got his money. Whatever. Now you the enemy. So at this point,
right? Exactly.
Y'all running away again. We're gonna talk this Super Bowl crap when they ain't got to one yet. So we got to hear that mess. You know what I'm saying? But
I mean, we all know they're not going. As long as Jerry Jones is running things, they're not going to. I don't see them making it to that far. Only because, as Stephen A. says, they're an accident waiting to happen, and that's how I feel. I feel like Jerry Jones is going to get in the way.
He can't help it because you don't know no GM that speaks that much like him before a coach.
Exactly.
So you put your ego before the team, and even if Lori tries to put out, he always done something dumb too. So I feel like you were probably better off in the back. So just stay in the back. You ain't got to follow them.
Exactly.
Because they're just the bridesmaid never making it to the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly.
Mess up. They can impress. They can talk a lot of crap, but we actually got there and finished. So
hello.
And we was millennium.
And we had the weakest number one seed.
Yeah. People were down when we were the number one. Everybody go back to their DVDs. You see how we
exactly
guessing us to win when we were the number one seed.
Right. Exactly.
So dog is our middle name, but
exactly
America's team kiss my ass. I'm sorry.
For real.
This kind of America I don't want to subscribe to. So y'all go ahead with that.
I'll be shocked though, which I said I'm shocked, and I'm not getting my hopes up, but I'm saying that. But I would be shocked if we actually get ourselves together and start winning a lot of games, and maybe try to make a playoff or wild card, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, if they
but
do that,
I
still will be like scared because I'll be like, don't get your
hopes up. I would too. Yeah.
Don't get your hopes up because this is gonna be a long drop now because they're gonna work it up. And it'll be just like that year Carson actually was healthy that last year before he ended up getting that concussion in the first round of playoffs.
Right. And that was my first Philly game of the season. And I was like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Got a concussion in the first series. You're like, God dang it, he didn't even make it to the halftime. That was even worse because it was like he finally went through a whole season not injured. And
exactly.
when he got injured.
Then bam. And we ain't seen him since.
Ain't seen him since. Homeboy is almost like he didn't even exist in 2020.
Right.
You know?
Oh yeah, he did come back because that's right. Because he played because Hurts played the last 4 games.
Right, because that's why everybody started thinking Hurts was the answer, and now they treat him like they treated Carson.
Yeah,
like nah, he can't do nothing right. They gave him 3 weeks till the brother was like, "Nah, he ain't it." I was like, "It's 3 weeks. He ain't do shit."
But I saw. I guess Twitter was talking about like I don't know if Russell Wilson's supposed to be like a free agent next year. And apparently Eagles should be the top team he look at. And now it's like, I saw people tweeting like, oh, if we get Russell, like it's, and Sierra is going to be in Philly and all this. I'm like, dang.
Look, see how quick they flip
up. Like, that's not even guaranteed. And y'all already talking Super Bowl. Russell get us a Super Bowl. Like, dang.
And we get Russell on the tail end of his career. So how do we know he's going to be in tip-top shape when he comes here?
Facts. And isn't he out right now?
I'm just saying. Yes.
He just had surgery.
A finger, a tendon, and he can't even grip the football yet.
People are hilarious.
Y'all get lost in the details because at the end of the day, this is another Howie trying to backtrack on something he missed 10 years ago. That's the only reason why Russell Wilson is even coming in the conversation, because he wanted Russell Wilson before he got Wentz or something is the rumor. Okay, so once again, you're making the draft about you, which means you're going to spend all these stupid picks quarterback again.
Right.
And not get a decent O-line.
With the coaching still being suspect.
Thank you.
How that going to work?
Yeah. The main issue is the O-line. Can we try to keep the quarterback upright first? Can y'all get some defense? Like
defense is
before you start getting the quarterback.
Exactly.
Get the protection. I said that the year that they got Hurts. That's why I was so mad about that draft, because I'm like, what was the issue all the time? He kept getting sacked. So you couldn't get a
lack of protection. But I also think some of the O-line, I feel like a lot of the team players didn't F with Carson like that. And I feel like it started to show.
Yeah, people can say that now because, all the stuff that came out, but they always talk about when these quarterbacks get under fire. Everybody starts suddenly got something to say. So I don't know if that's true, but you get a lot of new players who don't have time because of the quarantine to get to know him. Then they're going to talk smack when things don't work, or maybe he doesn't really respond to them. But you realize what because 5 questions, like I said, is one of these shows I like for just this vibe only. And if you enjoy, subscribe to AJ Jones and check out Shay. Follow her on Twitter because she is hilarious. And everybody else, yes, shout out to Shay. Say your Twitter name, by the way. Just
Savage Shay, Savage, and then Shay, SHAE.
Yeah, because I remember I was like, how do I spell her name when I sent her the thing? I was like, S-H-A-Y.
It's actually Shayla is S-H-A-Y, my name. But when I was creating my 5th Twitter account,
that's right. I feel like a part of the club.
I had to change it a little bit. That way Twitter wouldn't try to suspend the account that I was trying to make. Girl, I had to get that whole trap phone and everything for
I remember these tweets because I used to crack up. I was like, yo, because I used to always think that Terry was the only one that had got kicked out of Twitter. And then suddenly this past year, I did. So then I was like, I lost most of my people from when I had Girly Virgo 78.
Yeah.
So I'm mad because people probably still thinking, I thought you left Twitter. No, I'm on it.
Right. When I first came to Twitter, I was Black and Proud Shay.
Okay.
And then, I was Shay the Coolest, then Black and Proud Shay. Mm-hmm. And that was my Twitter handle for years. And then I just started wilding, and Twitter just been sensitive. And
quarantine doesn't make y'all a bunch of bitches.
For real.
I know, because now nobody can be safe. I can't say I wanted to say something so bad about something. It's always politics that got me in trouble. But
I can't say the C word.
Yeah.
That rhymes with.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Seeing this Tuesday. Yeah. And I was calling some dude, and then I finally said, "Go fly a kite." That's all I could manage today. I really wanted to say, "Go F yourself," but I'm like, nah, I ain't trying to be blocked today because I don't feel like making another password.
Exactly.
But I thank you so much for spending the evening.
You're welcome. Thank you. I had fun.
Yes, and hopefully one of these days, if it's not this season, I hope to see you at a tailgate because eventually I'm gonna get my old butt up and actually get there when everybody gets there instead of leaving.
Yes,
because I do miss the tailgate. Even if I only can do it for one night, I want to do it.
It'd be worth it.
It is. But thank you all for watching. If you weren't, oh well, you missed a lot. Peace. I will see you.
See you. Bye.
Bye. All right, I'm gonna send you the link later.
Okay.
Take care, girl.
Right, bye.